one. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when attack like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, Odell with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the dash. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready, white 25. Oh, dead, pump. Double tight. 5-0. 3 down. 25, check 25. Let's go.
First down, Winston. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 15 now. Winston, he's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going, and being able to make a play on the football.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. Nice little juke. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Breeze. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Check three.
Now Gordon. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down now. It's Gordon. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
11. Let's go, D. 45. Mike, 45. Hey, exit. 45 to Mike. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey. Sammy. You don't want it.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
Ready. Yellow lady. 21.
Now Gordon on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 12 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here's Winston. Steps away to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Barber. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And the throw there going to be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Ready?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the Buccaneers' 29-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Hey, easy. Check 45, come on. Check 45. Hey, box drop.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
5-9. Hey, wahoo!
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
We got 4. Check safety. Watch the twist. Easy, opposite.
On first down, Gordon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ready.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You're good. 4, ready. 45.
Now Breeze. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point? And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Here we go.
25-yard line. The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Going up top for Miller. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike's 59. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston now. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 50 yards.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Barber on first and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Check 56. Watch the pass. 56 to Mike.
Jameis to throw it. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Sheldon Rankins able to record his 5th sack of the season. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
And bring it. Green, 56. Mike, 56, right there, 56.
To throw is Winston. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Check 59, Mike. Mike over. Mike 59. Yeah, that's what I do. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Easy. Go. Mike, check, 59. Easy. Hey, come get some. Come on here, come get some. Easy. He don't want it. Mike, let's go.
Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a third down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Gordon. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
We go 21.
Throwing on second and 3. Breeze caught on the left side by Ginn. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Breeze going to come up here, first and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. They run it here with Gordon. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
At the 34-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Breeze now. Sanders has it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Left side here to Sanders. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked to his offense coordinator and said, look.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Winston. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Ready? You ready? 53. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. That one a 14-yard play, and it keeps this drive moving. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, 7.
To throw is Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Winston. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Sheldon Rankins. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Dayon Buchanan charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check! Hey, Q!
Now a play fake. Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Room here to run. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Winston. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Winston. He's got Evans. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run with Barber. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber. his first touchdown on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 21-17. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll come out in the pistol. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Melvin Gordon. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutt's good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Check Mike, check Mike.
And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. He'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Nassib, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Open man is Gordon, complete. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
It's a gain of 20. First down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Devin White, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, Alpha. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. 11. 58 to Mike, 58.
Breeze going to throw. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
From the gun on third down, Breeze throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
First down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
87's mine. I got 87.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Shakes off the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Nassib Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got him in. Complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller, 87 yards. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. That they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw, it's Breeze. To the right side and complete to Thomas. A good pickup there at 22. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
56. Mike, 56. Right there.
Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears.
And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Breeze. This is caught by Ginn. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And a sideline pass, that's caught by Thomas. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Here we go.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Flush to his right. And a big one. across here as he's taken down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Jameis to throw it. Now a desperation throw deep down. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, now Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. This is Gordon. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Check.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win